Hello, can you guys hear? You guys can hear me, right? Is everything good? Is everything good? You can see me. Should I be on the right hand side or left hand side? There you go. I'll change a little bit. Let me know. Let me go on. How's the sound? How's the sound? How's the video? And then how's everything? I'm gonna pop out the chat, and we're just gonna do a sort of a been a bit for me and Simpson too, but never forget Dr. Naki. Loud and clear. Nice, nice, nice. Hey Charles, how's everyone? How's everything? I'm so sorry that I'm a little bit late, cause on one of my consulting work, I have like a couple of side gigs, and one of my consulting works, there's the CEO of the company called me, and he's like, you should also do some research on this thing and that thing. I was like, okay, and we were talking about like, what are some like how's the outlook going like with the hurricane, with natural disasters, with with the market outlook going, with reverse repo going through the roof, and we're anticipating a sort of like a at least a market correction in the next few weeks. And he's like, so what do you think that as a company, what he should do, and I do some like IT consulting for them. I also do some customer diligence on consulting for them. For those of you who are curious, what customer diligence is basically what customer diligence is I go research who their customer base are based on the data that they have for like they accumulated for years. Like to say 5 years, 6 years. This particular company, they have 12 years of data, which I'm like, oh my god, I strike gold on this one, and I understand this industry. So I can't really tell you guys what specific industry this is. I can only tell you that they are a manufacturer of OEM. OEMs are original equipment manufacturer. This is why in my some of my other videos, I talk about OEMs a lot. I'm like, George, need to understand how the OEM games were played. Things I'm like technically currently working on for one, so then I understand how they play the game. I sometimes join their conference calls to listen to how they talk to their customers, how they structure some deal flows, and because the consulting work I do with them, I get those datas, which I am not allowed to share because of NDAs. So this is why for the past weeks I got a lot of revelations on what George's potential revenue is going to look like in the next 2 or 3 years. And also turned out that one of my old friends dad still works in the semiconductor space or realm or industry. So then I went, I called him. We arranged a sort of like a dinner get together or whatever on like next week, and probably talk about the semiconductor industry, like the outlook for the next 5 years, and maybe ask some questions regarding whether the semi fab entire industry is ready for photonics manufacture, or just maybe slip matter material a little bit into that conversation and see what he thinks. And because we are based in Silicon Valley, so then in California, Silicon Valley, not the Silicon Valley in Canada, but Silicon Valley in America, right, in California. So we got a lot of friends who are in the startup space, who do advanced photonics, who do they make like photonic chips. They do advanced, like they want to replace semiconductor. And I went to a lecture by this one professor in Duke who was basically we call the founding father of invisibility cloak, who's the one who actually basically made one in lab. And I had a conversation with him like a couple of years ago when everything happens and whatever. The first research came out in 2006. There was a lecture at 2016, which is 10 years after the lecture. I was glad to meet him and talk about the future of metamaterial. This is one of the reasons why when I saw Meta on go public on a Nasdaq, I was like, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting. So it would be a buying opportunity considered this is the first metamaterial company. But we're already in August when I bought in, sort of about like late June, or I got like some like random shares in May because I saw it as a day trading opportunity. But right now I think I have more and more information at hand, which prompt me selling off. At least right now I sold off about 1/6 of my total holding, so I still have 1/6 of the holding that I plan to sell off. and we'll leave about 2/3. And you guys know that I have 3 different personalities. So the original personality, which is me, will hold 1/3 of total holding, and my decision for this one is I'm gonna sell off basically all of my 1/3 of holding. And you know, due to popularity votes, Jimmy is all of your favorite, you know, personality of mine, and he's gonna hold with you guys until the end. So props to Jimmy, who's super bullish, and we have Bobby, who's basically a more realistic investor. He's like he's basically he's basically the personality that combine all of our institutional experience, because you know, I worked for VC before I did consulting work for some mutual funds for, you know, for data rigging or whatever. Tell us your DD on NSCC. Hey, what is up, guys? I'm gonna slowly read your comments and try to answer all those questions. This stream session is for it's for general Q&A, and I'm gonna give you guys a overview on what other content we plan for this coming week. Sorry, gotta grab some water first. So for the coming week, we plan to make a video about, you know, if the market go down, what are some means or instruments that you can use to short, or, you know, short the entire market, or, you know, you're betting on a longer period of time where the market is going to stay flat, or you're betting on there might be a huge correction in the coming weeks or month. What you can do to mitigate your risk of shorting, what you can do to just short the market in general, right? Because a lot of you asked that question in Discord. So that's a content that we plan to make, and already 20%ish done, because you know, this is like the regular. I'm trying to rearrange where I stream, where I record, so then you guys will have a better background, and I might order a green screen for you guys, so then you don't need to look at the boring bed or whatever, right? And also, second content is we're gonna make a video called the only fundamental you need for metamaterials. In that video, it's gonna be I think it's either gonna be a 2-part series or just 1 part. It's gonna be super short about what you really need to look at in terms of metamaterials fundamentals, and you know, maybe a bullish and a bearish understanding or perception on the fundamentals. Because a lot of the YouTubers or streamers or finance YouTubers or whatever you call them, or you call them the guardians of their own crowd. I mean, I am the guardian of my own crowd, right? Even though our crowd is decreasing. But hey, numbers don't really speak anything. Total returns in about a year and a half will speak for itself. So this video, in that video, we're gonna talk about, like, okay, so here are 5 things that you need to look at in terms of doing fundamentals on any companies. And there's only 3 parts that's super important for metamaterial in its own stage right now, right? It's basically a sort of like a startup stage. You can call it startup stage, or you call it whatever. And then, like, here are the numbers. What are some alerting parts? What are some, like, warning signs? What are some red flags? What are some green flags that you can look at, right? It's basically the only fundamental you need for metamaterials. And then we're going to post another video about metamaterial in general, but it's about dividend. So it's going to be 1 video on, it's like the bullish outlook on dividend, which we're going to feature Jimmy, who's going to talk about what he thinks that the dividend is going to be. Jimmy thinks the dividend is going to be $15 per share, and he even thinks that it might be $20. So you guys will love that video, and it's going to be basically a combination about a combination of a lot of people's basically the community hype about, you know, how much the dividend is going to be. You know, it's going to be at the high 15s or 20s or whatever, and back it up with some very, very optimistic on projections and very hopeful, you know, thinking on the market. And then that's 1 video, and there's going to be another video about the very bearish understanding of the dividend. You know, it might be go to 0, it might not even get that. So, like, just pick your poison, right? Like, you can pick the bullish one and look at it. You can pick the bearish one and you know, view it, or you can just read both, right? Because you're gonna weigh your ups and downs. It's sort of like because we are a factual channel now. We're, you know, no longer we never was a hyped up channel. Sometimes we do things just because we think it's funny, but yeah, so on this channel you will see a lot of factual stuff, which is composed of 98% of what this channel is about. So if you're just looking for, Sterling or 420's channel where, they sort of give you a very reassuring outlook of where this thing goes. Basically, it's like when you're an 8-year-old, you go to school and you get bullied, or you bully other people, and then right after you get hurt, you go to your mom is like, oh my god, mommy, these guys bullied me, or these guys cut me or pushed me to a tree or some random shit like that. And then your mom is like, oh my god, baby, everything is gonna be alright. So these guys play the mom role in that situation. Our channel will play the dad role. The dad will come out and say, hey, like, that, if these guys bully you, you have to fight back, right? You cannot be, a coward or pussy forever. Like, you have to actually look at your upsides and downsides and be a man, or just be a human being who respect their own rights, right? And so that's the video plans, and every day there's gonna be a mandatory outlook. And by the end of next week, we're gonna push out a sort of like a hypothetical price projection, both the bullish view and the bearish view. Yeah, so that's the overview of what it's gonna be like. And if you guys want to have a very in-depth fundamental analysis on MetaMaterial, we do have a Patreon setup. You can go support us on Patreon, and there might be some very detailed stuff on Patreon, because we think that the majority of the viewership are actually have very low attention span, and we don't think it's suitable to put it on a YouTube where it's like, I don't know, like a 20 minutes video about, hey, like, this is the way how you do revenue projection. All these revenues yield at this and that, and then revenue actually changed even though it's the same contract from IFRS to GAAP, blah 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 blah, and we foresee this happen in the next few months. So you foresee this happens in Q3. Like, nobody want to sit through like a 20 to 40 minutes video just us crunching numbers. So yeah, if you're looking for that kind of stuff, Patreon is to go. I mean, again, like, we're like, a lot of people are like, you just want to sell up now. We're not just trying to sell off our Patreon or whatever. We price it at a very low point. Like, we even have early access to make sure that for those of you who are interested in getting these information early, earlier than other people, or getting these very on time trade transactions on time or whatever, then Patreon is the way to go. But for those of you who who don't really care about the timeliness of information, then YouTube channel is great, because we still post majority of stuff on YouTube anyways. And yeah, detailed stuff around Patreon and YouTube are for general viewership or whatever, right? All right, let's address some questions real quick. Let me pull up to the first. Hey DD, so Bronze 14 ever said, hey DD, what is Bronze on and how are you doing? Hey DD, considering Delta COVID right now, what do you think the chances are the Fed announced a taper this week, and what does that mean for the market on either way? Okay, so this is a kind of loaded question. So first of all, what we have to understand about the Delta variant is every virus is mutate, right? So before I bought into Moderna early 2020, I was doing research and I called up a bunch of doctors in virology, because one of my uncles actually is a virologist. So I got some connections, and I talked to them. I was like, so what do I really need to know to look at these vaccines? They tell me all the pros and cons and everything. So I picked up basically three companies. One is Moderna, one is Pfizer, and the third one was, what was it? I thought it wasn't Johnson & Johnson, it was the other one, but I ended up only buying Pfizer and Moderna. So I entered Moderna pretty early, but in my mind, I know that there are risks of any vaccine, because medically speaking, when you have a vaccine, you have more antibodies. That means when you get the vaccine, the virus that's in the outer space will mutate faster. So right now, when you have the booster shots and everything, that just means the regular virus is going to go through a rapid expansion period of time. So then you will see so I don't want to jump the guns real fast, right? Because I don't know if CDC actually pushed out that warning report out or not. So in the next few weeks or in the next few days, or from a major news channel, reporters going to say, hey guys, like Delta variants is here, and we expect to see more variances over time. Okay, and I do have a prediction of when this peak of virus is gonna go away, like the increase of cases and everything. So without going too deep into that, my prediction is around like mid-October. Mid-October is gonna be the peak. So if you're into calculus, then we explain it in a calculus term. So if we explain it in calculus term, around, so let's say so this is the rate of how COVID cases increases, right? And this is October, and this is now. At around this point, you will see a major plateau over here. So this is when f of x, which is the slope of the function of how many cases are there of these new variance cases, whatever, f of x, f prime of x, the slope of this will be 0. So starting from the mid of November all the way until to late November, you will see cases drop over time. Okay, this is my prediction. And in terms of the taper talk, I don't think this will happen next week. I don't think this will happen next month, because if the Delta variant is actually this bad, then that means if you taper, then the entire economy is going to be bang, kaboom, bang, right? That kind of thing. And nobody want to see that. Even though when that happens, we probably can capitalize on that by generally shorting or whatever. Especially when you go and look at how the reverse repo trend are going, it's through the roof. The reverse repo trend is through the roof right now, guys. So if you go and look at the overnight, look at this. That means the general money fund managers are looking for a safer way to park their money. Okay, and I mean, by the end of this year, regardless of COVID status, the Fed has to figure out a way to really adjust their interest rate, either the reverse rate or either the reserve rate or whatever. So by the end of this year, you will actually see a major correction of the market. But when correction happens, then wait a couple of weeks, it's just gonna shoot up again. Because if a second wave of COVID happens, the lockdown happens, then what actually happens from April to all the way to December 2020 is gonna repeat itself, right? Or repeat around 65% to 75% of the action. But if there's no lockdown, then some consumption level is gonna go up, some consumption level is gonna go down. Then we as a community have to decide what are some stuff that we decided to go into, or what are some stuff that we decided to use as a safety precaution, like maybe investing in some high yield dividend stock, because there are reasons. I will post a video if you guys are interested. Just comment down below, right? Let's see. What are some? Sorry. There's too much stuff going on my thing. What's your average now in MMAT? You mean after I sold? So after I liquidated 1/3 of a position, my average will be twice. Well, 1/3 twice of my current average. So if you do the math, the average will be $9. Actually, it will be 8.6. No, it will probably be higher because I don't intend to use all of the money Bobby made from. Bobby is my third personality. Bobby made from options to offset my losses. So whatever Bobby made will just be P&L for this month or this year, and then those money are not going to be reinvested in Meta. So yeah, I think I answered that question. Well, I haven't watched the Simpsons like 14 years. Yeah, Simpsons made some pretty good predictions. I'm just reading your comments. Tell us your DD on NSCC. Are we talking about NSCC 2021 10 or NSCC 2021 07, right? 07 is the one that increased margin. Again, all of those NSCC changes they have their pros and cons. But for retail investors, it's not really a good it's not really a good sign per se, generally speaking, because when they increase margin requirement, that literally means that even the government is foreseeing a big correction in the market, and then they're seeing liquidity get dried out over the next few months to years, right? When they increase the interest rate, and then everybody's talking about the one that's going to be effective on the 24th. Yes, the 10, right? That's basically major prevention of silo cells, and then sort of making clearing process. Basically have a centralized clearing process, or a centralized clearing, not like a clearing firm. It's a clearing center, but it doesn't change the how mechanics of obligation warehouse works. And sort of like if you're if you're a hedge fund, you're buddy with another hedge fund, and that hedge fund is buddy with another hedge fund. Or you can just be Citadel Fund 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you just make inter-fund transactions, nothing really changed. Any thought on NIO stock? Sorry. Any thoughts on NIO stock and prediction within 3 to 5 years? Oh, pretty bullish on NIO. When you see NIO turn to profit by the end of this year, I think the earliest I can see that, then you will see a major rip up for NIO. 3 to 5 years, I mean, basically NIO is a Tesla of China, especially when Tesla is sort of failing in the Chinese market a little bit. But hey, we don't really want to talk too much about Tesla and NIO, because I want to make a video out about the AI day too, because what Elon was trying to say is, hey guys, we're not a car company, we're a tech company, and we have some really good AI stuff that we can pivot out. And I do think after that presentation, I'm pretty bullish on Tesla too. But I think short-term outlook, Michael Burry might win in the short term. Hello, dude. Hulk said, hello, dude. When the dividend is 99 cents, I'm looking forward to the reaction of the pumpers out there. 99 cents? That's still like $1, almost $1, right? George said 1 to 20. I don't think he did his research on his dividend outlook. I think he just basically paraphrased what Breda said to him. So which percentage would you say the majority of the viewership is more like? That is a very good question, Ling Ling. I would say everybody's more like Jimmy. I think everybody's more like Jimmy. I do like Jimmy because it's very a vibrant personality, and he makes my life a very great place to be at, because he pumps me up sometimes. But a lot of times, when you're in our discipline or in a market or whatever, or our profession of trade, or what we call this, you need to have a very cool mind, and you need to have a very emotionless flow. But I do think majority of viewership is like Jimmy. This is why we see a decline in viewership, or decline in subs. The viewership is almost the same, because people are more likely. It's course theory, right? A course theorem. I'm gonna write it down if you guys want to do research on this one. Course theory. Basically, what it means is how do you get from A to B? You will take the least road of resistance, right? So then let's just say there are 3 guys in a bar. You got you have guy A, which is super rich, but he's not really good at talking to chicks. Not good at chicks. Okay. You have B is just a regular guy, an average guy who's okay with girls, okay? And you have C, who's poor, but who's really good at talking to girls. Okay? And then all three guys sitting at the bar table, the sidebar table, the sidebar table, and there's a very a pretty well-off girl, coming in, who's a sub. They're probably a 9.5 in terms of the look, style, and pretty smart, right? very smart, who works in finance, a finance girl coming in. So basically, who care about other people's finances, right? He go up and she's gonna have a drink. And if all 3 of them go talk to this girl, who do you think the girl is more likely to pick? All right, can we do a poll here? We can come back to this question later. Who do you think they're gonna pick? Who do you think the girl's gonna end up going home with? A, the rich guy but not really good at girls. B, the very average guy who's okay with girls. Or C, the the poor guy who's like super good at talking to girls. Okay, let's do a poll here. Let's do a poll here. As a who do you think the girl will go home with? All right, add options. So first one is rich guy, do not have so rich guy. The first option is rich guy, low girl skills. Second one is average guy, average girl skills. And third is poor guy with extremely high or high girl skills. Who do you think? You know, or there's gonna be I don't know. I don't want you guys to pick the fourth situation here, so I'm just not gonna do the fourth one. So to pick a person, A, B, or C. We're gonna do a poll. Ask your community. There you go. Wait, did it work? Wait, how did the poll work? Oh, there you go. There you go. All right, let's go. Live poll. I love this. Okay, let's address. All right, let it run. Let it run right now. Let it run. Let it run. Next question. I address Ling Ling's question. Do you expect a further downtrend this week until Powell speaks again on Friday? In terms of like the market or in terms of MMAT? I do think there's going to be a downward trend no matter what, because there are other things going on, you know, other than COVID, because we're seeing okay, so I don't know how many of you are Californians. If you're in California, then you know that, you know, the recall is happening, right? I don't want to get political in here, but one of the debate between, you know, Kevin, and the current governor is about the numbers. There are a lot of financial numbers that are just inaccurate. So in a lot of states, there are also financial troubles. So when the general market see all these financial troubles with the job data not going well as expected, and with the COVID, I don't see the market reacting super well right now. But again, you know, when a correction happens, it's more likely to refill the gap in about 2 or 3 days if it happens on a Monday, according to data. What's your favorite video game? Right now, probably still League of Legends, maybe. No, not really. I do like Dota better. Well, that would depend. I don't really have a favorite video games anymore because I only play them when I'm super stressed. I tend to read more now. We all know we got trapped on material. I think we all have to wait a while to get some profit. My question I want to ask you about fuel cell stock. What's your thoughts about the long-term short 6.83A? What do you mean? Fuel cell stock? Like, what do you mean? Elaborate. Florida Health walks through the metal materials. I mean, yeah, like for me, I just but anyways, you guys will see the bearish and the bullish, you know, on metal materials, the fundamentals, the price prediction or whatever in next week, right? Did you keep your lower priced meta material shares? No, because, you know, even though we have, you know, 3 personalities, we don't combine, we combine our average, okay? So if one of us sells, that means the other guys, their cumulative average will go up. Just need to do math about it. What are your views on Wish? Wish is more like a pump and dump scheme now. So beforehand, about a month or half or 2 months ago, we predicted that it cannot stabilize at $15, and there's not gonna be a squeeze on Wish. You can go back and look at that video. Pretty sure there's only like 300 of you watched it or something like that. Pretty intuitive video, and we predicted it's gonna be around lower 9s by the end of that month or something like that. It came true. For those of you who just like pick up random videos from our YouTube channel, sometimes you can just like randomly short or randomly be long on one stock, and our predictions usually come true, and you make money from that. But hey guys, we're not financial advisors, therefore we do not give financial advices. Okay. Wait, let me look at the. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. If there is a market correction, I assume growth stocks will continue to go down, even though they have already been hammered since March. Thoughts? Well, general trend is, I talked to about 6 fund managers over the past 3.5 months about what do they think is overpriced. They all think the tech growth market is overpriced, and that they think that's a bubble. But hey, that's just some personal opinion of theirs. And I think it will get somewhat hammered a little bit, especially on the intrinsic inflation growth got hammered a little bit. But again, like when you're in a deflationary market, if that ever happens, or in a general inflation trend, then the market has to keep up with the inflation. Otherwise, it just won't be a functional market anymore, right? Dude Zero, you're gonna take the girl home. So what category are you at? The rich guy, the average guy, or the poor guy, right? Guys, we're gonna run it a little bit in case somebody tune in, and only subscribers now can ask questions, just in case some other people come and ask questions and just leave or something. I don't know. Also, I just think that function's fun. She has the money already. She will be breadwinner, and will like the status. Interesting talk. But hey, when I reveal the answer, you might be surprised. Like some of you might be surprised, because human beings have a tendency of following its evolutionary ancestors, and there's a reason for that. This is a human ethology research. I have no luck with women. Ask the boss lady. I mean, boss lady is great. We all love boss lady. She wants the Alpha C third poor guy. I mean, I will reveal it. I'm just gonna let it run a little bit more. What are your thoughts on flat Earth theory? Bruh, really? Like, what century are we still living? Galileo already proved that wrong. What do you do for a living at the moment? Even ever thought about getting a license to trade other people's money and starting an investment business? Maybe. But in order to get a Series 3, you need a FINRA registered, Series 6, you need a FINRA registered firm to sort of sponsor you. So I'm preparing for certain tests that will allow me to trade other people's money, but probably in the next few months, or in the next year. Right now I'm like in the last year of my master's, and also I was gonna announce a good news for you guys. So for those of you who are already Patreon members, in Patreon I'm gonna post. It's gonna be like far ahead this year, about probably like 6 months from now on already, or like maybe the earliest is 3. We're developing a stock screener that's way superior than every other stock screener on the market. And the code base in Python, or maybe do some in C++, maybe do it in Swift and in Java, for those of you understanding programming language later on when we push this to market. But for those of you who are in Patreon, we will get a sort of like a first look of how this thing works, and you guys are more than welcome to try it out and give us sort of like a beta testing group sort of feedback on what need to be there, what not to need to be there in terms of the ease to use. What can we do to do better, and you probably will get some formulas that we put in there that will be pretty helpful. But that's gonna be like maybe 3 months or 6 months later, depending on how busy I am with the schedule. But yeah, that's basically a passion project, and I plan to do it as a final capstone individual project for the masters. And yeah, you guys will love it, because I found a problem in the entire stock screening section of the market. Because those apps are pretty bad. You remind me of the guy in a big store that ran their fund in their garage and made good on one of the best trades of all time. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I am not Michael Burry because Michael Burry is the main guy. Like Christian Bale is Michael Burry. Right? He's already married, right? Like very stable. His wife is like super supportive. We're just two single guys doing our stuff. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully you're right, and I think you might be. Or what other questions do you guys have? Or can I reveal the answer for the poll? Damn, there's only 20 of you here. Oh, another thing for those of you who are here from the Discord, or those of you who are just tuned in, who are not on Discord yet, if you go to our Discord, I have some. Hey, I'm doing some research on Palantir too, because I was gonna do a comparison between Palantir and metamaterials, and sort of talk about how Alex did for Palantir, and in terms of like, you know, a CEO comparison, like which is better, what we really want to see in terms of contract flow. It's going to be a very controversial video, but it's going to be out either this week or next week. I have a lot of video ideas, and I'm trying to balance, you know, the visuals with what I talk about. You know, it would be very easy for me to just talk and then let you guys sort of and listen, so you guys listen in on the podcast. But it will be sort of more editing work for me if I'm trying to put some visuals in it. But when I put some more visuals in it, I feel like it's easier for you guys to understand. So for those of you who are in Discord or who are about to join Discord, right? So first thing you have to know is when you come to the welcome page, there is a terms and services. In order to actually join us, you have to click the thumbs up button. I know there are other, you know, reactions. I mean, you can still click on them, but only the first thumb up button. When you click it, it will make you a verified member, because we know that you're not a robot to just join our Discord. Because life is just like that. Okay, we don't like robots anymore. Not really. So right now, if you go to there's a tab right under Patreon Club. There's MMAT, and if you go to community reasons, here's what I want you guys to do. Okay, so this is one of the tasks I would want you to do for this week, right after stream or whatever, when you're ready. So I want you to know you guys' reason for why you invest in Manateer and why you invested. And what do you think is a realistic price target to exit? Okay, what is the reason you enter Manaterial, and what is a reasonable price to exit? And do not, and I ask you guys, do not look at other people's answers and, you know, answer the question. I want you guys to form your own opinion on you know, why you invested in this, or just like the purest reason why you invested in it. It could be, you know, I did it sort of like a, you know, a not so rational decision. I decided to buy in it due to the hype. Like anything is acceptable, right? And after, I will do a cutoff line for those of you who can send your submissions, and by the deadline, I will also write my reasoning at the end. So this is going to be a timely thing, and then after, you know, the deadline, and after I answer that, we're going to do a data analysis on everybody's answer, and we're going to pull out the sentiment of our small community. We probably only have like around 300 people in Discord. So for those of you who haven't joined, and for those of you who, you know, who just joined, go do this community sort of reasoning activity. So then from other people's reasoning, or from, you know, by looking at other people's the most honest reaction to why they bought into this, it might spark some interesting conversation that we might have in the future. All right. Next question. Do you know about the link of Palantir and CIA? A long-term bet, in my opinion, stack of government money going their way. That is true, but you have to look at their revenue to their outstanding shares / market cap. I mean, I do own some leap options on Palantir, and I sold them off when it's at the highest. You can keep making those trades while still at its 20s, and I do love Alex. I think he's a really great just a deal closer. He's a closer. I like him, and I do share his vision on where, you know, they should leave Palantir too. And I think they have a really good advisory board, will inform them on the correct or the most proper business decision they should have as a company. What's your thoughts on GP's current pattern on social media, engaging defensively with people's comment, posting random info, music info, posting PR that is significantly fluff? Wait, I'll get back to that real quick. I need to answer this real quick. I think someone have a problem connecting to the stream or something. I need to send out this text real fast. So we just take 1 minute break and we'll come back in just a little bit. I need to. And for those of you who haven't participated in the poll yet, go participate in the poll. And for those of you still on Discord, send out the alert or whatever and say I'm alive, and tell whoever, tell the people who spread the good news, and we're gonna think about more questions to ask. We're probably gonna end the stream in about another 30 minutes, just in case you have some last minute question or whatever. I will come back to this question just in a second. Oh God, there's so much things to do. Pretty sure this link will work now. All right, I'm back. So, what is your thoughts on GP's current pattern on social media, engaging defensively with people's comments and posting random info and posting PR that's insignificant? That's not insignificant. That's significant fluff. Well, let's just say that sometimes when people are a little bit on the defensive side, a little bit not really desperate, but I just say like very worried about the stock price, they tend to make really bad decisions on who they respond to you. And that's why me and number two barely respond to hate comments, because we don't want to be put into that kind of position. And we understand George, like we see where he's coming from, but I think that's pretty rash the way how he's responding. It's pretty bad. And if you go, we did a small sort of like a data sentiment analysis on George tweets, from the past few weeks, before the merger, after the merger, or whatever, and when does he is more inclined to be more active on Twitter. Usually when he's inclined to read more comments and inclined to sort of reply to you all. I think George does spend a lot of time on Twitter, based on his pattern, the amount of people, the tweets that he liked, and all those kind of stuff. And also, by the way, George actually unliked us and unfollowed us on Twitter. We were one of the channels that he actually followed from the very beginning, which is interesting. I think George doesn't like constructive feedback, so he just sort of blurred that out of his mind. And yeah, it's bad. It's pretty bad for a stock as of right now. So if he really needed an IR or PR sort of advisor to tell him what is proper to do, and in terms of like if we put on the Bobby hat, then what we see is, all right, he wants something from the general public, and he's a little bit desperate in terms of the outlook of his own company, and what he really needs to do is chill and actually do some stuff that will help his company, instead of trying to be a keyboard warrior and answer some irrelevant questions from retail group, or trying to find more contracts, trying to sign more partnerships, trying to actually hire people that's important to his business. What's your thoughts on geopolitics between US and China in terms of company stock effect, good or bad to buy Chinese stock because of the issues? I was gonna make a video about Alibaba. I'm pretty sure it's gonna pull back next week. There are a lot of considerations, but hey, we're not financial advisors. We do not give financial advices. Everything we say on this channel is for shits and giggles, right? Eventually, right, it's like a pendulum effect. If you swing yourself far from the center and a little bit too far left, then you will see the right side momentum come in, and you will swing to the middle, right? Everything have a rebound, everything have a life cycle, everything have a cyclical thing. So I do think a lot of them are undervalued, but depending on your timing, we might make huge profit on those companies. But hey, a lot of due diligence need to be done, a lot of speculation needs to be done, a lot of hedging needs to be done, and yeah, we also need to analyze some of the capital flows too. Do you think selling $3 calls on MMAT is too ballsy? Trying to average down and get out of MMAT. If you already have the thought of trying to average down and get off of MMAT, you might as well just, sort of contract some of. Well, hey, we're not financial advisors. We do not give financial advice, right? So what I would do is, I honestly don't think selling $3 call is that ballsy in a short-term period of time, depending on what's your option trading style. But here's the logic, okay? Here's the logic. In order for a $3 call to go expire worthless, by the time of expiration or maturity, if those of you are in the bond market, it has to be at least 2.99 or lower, correct? But if you foresee the general trend is going to just say, I'm going to pull up a random number on my ass because I don't really want to tell you guys what my price prediction is yet. So let's just say the random number I put up my ass is $2.5. If you foresee this would happen, your average price at $3.5, you lost $1 per share basis, minus $1 per share, and your option winning will only be 1/3 of a $3 per share for a month period of time. That means you only mitigated 2/3 of a dollar loss. Does that make sense? Questions? In that case, if you already formed a doubt of this thing is gonna go down more than 20 cents in the next month, then it's better to sell and buy puts than actually just do that. Unless you just want to do pure spreads, then that will work too. But if you're trying to do spreads in a $1 difference in option pricing, sort of, the difference is only $1, and it's in a very low cap stock, the spread is going to be very, very fudged, and the spread is going to be the profitable spread is going to be very controlled. So yeah. Does that answer your question, or does it not? You know what? I probably will end it at 5 because most of you probably gonna go have dinner or something, and I will reveal the answer to the poll around in about 4 minutes, and probably gonna do another 10 minutes more stream, just in case for those of you who just tune in or whatever. Doesn't seem to be a huge turn up today, huh? Oh yeah, I don't have Discord on now. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a huge turnout today, but hey, I mean, we're doing this for the general public, so. All right, what do we got for questions? Do you see a similarity with GRNQ and MMAT? 6.6 million shares of common stock. 6.6 million shares. Well, here's the thing, right? I don't really know about GRNQ, but I can just go take a quick look at it. Wait, is that GRNQ? Holy smokes, boys! We're really into penny stocks now, huh? Ling, I thought you don't do penny stocks, no? GRNQ, yeah, that's what it is. Let's see. Jesus Christ. This company's fundamental is actually better than Meta Materials fundamental. Oh, in terms of general outlook, it's better. It's actually better. Because their shares are not saturated. Interest, fascinating. Where did you find this? What did they even do? Like, what do they even do? So you know I'm a pro because I don't like other things. I just look at their thank you. But yeah, anyways, I'll look into it. Nah, probably not. I don't really want to invest in any of those like low cap stocks anymore. It's been a pretty fun stuff. I mean, in general, overall, probably already lost like 14K at this point. Because I don't want to offset my losses with options anymore. I want to do a separate. So yeah, this is a harsh lesson to learn. Yeah, I will never invest in a used tampon anymore. Sunday not good for dads. Why is Sunday not good for dads? They gotta go to church. But hey, that church is where you meet those crazy girls, dude. Crazy girls are the best girls ever, dude. I'm telling you. But all of you are like over 30, so I guess you guys aren't, you know, like me or whatever, still single, whatever. But yeah. But yeah, so the market isn't looking super, super hot. And small caps is not looking super, super hot. If you do some research on the outlooks of where George is heading in terms of his entire company dynamic, it's not looking as hot as you think. But hey, we're just trying to be objective here. You know, there's some rare chances where a miracle would happen, or you know, some big institutional investors that come in and pick him up, and it's great, right? We all benefit because still have 2/3 of holdings and whatever, right? And if it pumps up, then you can just rip the option prices and trade options to commodity, right? But right now, it's pretty dire. And also by analyzing his tweets, some interesting sentimental analysis you can form from his tweets. Cassie says no bubble. Do you agree with sexy Cassie? I do tend to love Cassie because Cassie is sexy. But hey, we're entitled to our own opinions, right? Me, I'm like 1/3 Buffett, 1/3 Richard Dennis, and 1/3 Cassie and Michael Burry combined. That's me. No crazy tricks. Look at crazy. Yo, dude, dude, we invented a better matrix for the crazy hot matrix, right? So the general crazy hot matrix looks like this. It's a linear model, but we don't like linear model, right? The hotter they are, the crazier they get, right? So this is the hot spectrum, and this is the crazy spectrum, right? So basically, the hotter in one scale of increasing the hotness. So we use the y equals to x model, right? But I don't think that's correct. We have to utilize the piecewise function for this. So the reality of how this works is actually looks like this. So you have the hot chicks and you have the crazy chicks, right? That's the craziness. So what you do is it actually looks like this. It actually looks like this. So technically it looks like, so if we use standard statistic analysis, we'll say everything is a bell curve. Usually the most average one. Actually, you know what? I'll think about it. Maybe I should push out a video because I have a model of using like a three-dimensional graph. So you have x, y, and z plane, and we use vectors to explain how crazy and hot. And you have another one is called reasonability. You have crazy. So there are 3 variables. We have crazy, and hot, and reasonability. Those are the 3 matrices we use in this matrix, okay? And we use vectorization. We use vectors to explain how it works. But hey, I mean, we're math nerds, so we do those kind of stuff. but yes, I do think you know, the crazy hot matrix is classic. I love it. I do love it. What do you think the market is going bullish? What do you think the market is going bullish? It looks like losing all the momentum against the coins. You mean Bitcoin? I mean, I did got some Ethereum. I mean, I added Ethereum like low 2000s. Probably only care about Ethereums right now. Yeah, Ethereum is looking fine. Major breakout line if you're looking for it. BTC looking not as hot. Well, everything. If you see this as a pullback, then you need to pull all of your funds back around September 23rd. If you see this a continuous trend, then just put in there until about, you know, late September and see how things goes. But anyways, I think we're almost done for the stream. Yeah, we're almost done. I will entertain some last minute questions and I will reveal the answer to the poll. I have 1,000 shares with an average of 8.95. Can I sell cover calls option to offset losses? And at what price? Out of the money? No. If you do out of money, it takes forever. Okay. If I were you, damn, I don't know. I don't give financial advices because we're not financial advisors and we do not get financial advices on our channel, right? Everything's for shits and giggles. But if we are in the same boat here, what I would do is, I mean, again. Right now in Discord, people are giving me a nickname, call me the cut loss dumb, because I cut 50% of my losses. I mean, I would just do that. I did that. I did that because if you think about this, if you think the future outlook of the stock is going to be trending towards the low twos, then there's no point of you selling options to make money because, well, depending on how long you're going to stay in this, if you're going to stay in this for 6 years, you know, when your kids graduate college, go to masters, or, you know, when your kids, you know, finish your high school, second year in college, then, hey, just be my guest. Start selling call options all the way until the end. Unless, you know, another reverse split coming, then you probably will see us post a video about what we are going to do when a reverse split comes. You know, you might just liquidate and do some puts and whatever, right? But that's you know, further in the road here. But if you are in this for long, like just say 6 years, then might as well just start selling call options, and you know, out of money, in the money, at the money, whatever you do, right? Because it's gonna further, you know, reduce your losses. And a lot of people believe that. Here's the thing. Here's the conventional belief. If your average is $8, you should sell the call option that's higher than your you know, $9 call, right? You're higher than your cost basis because when this got assigned, you sort of have an upside, but that's not really true because the entire option market is surrounding. I decided to sell you the right of doing something, of buying or selling at a discount in terms of a call option, especially if it's out of the money, right? Out of the money. But anyways, there's gonna be a futures fundamental video coming out too, video series, for those of you who are still gonna stay around by then. But hey, knowledge is knowledge, right? Will BTC dip when a correction happens? Yeah, BTC will dip. BTC beta is very funny. Yeah, just go search up what beta is. Basically, it's the correlation between one thing to another. BTC's beta to the market is pretty juicy. Go look it up. Charles, what BTC catalyst do you foresee in September? It's not really a catalyst. It could be a bullish and a bearish catalyst, but it really depends on what Powell is going to say on BTC and the congressional ruling on one of the BTC things, and there's a Supreme Court case. No one believes in Delta variants. More propaganda to keep the sheep at bay and complacent, the other Charles said. First of all, right, hey, you can say that on social media. You can get canceled. And second of all, hey, variance is just normal. That's what happens. What do you mean no one believes in that? That's just, you know, another factual thing about, you know, variances are variants. We have, you know, we even have HIV variants probably, if most people get that. We just don't see it on our radar. You know, the coronavirus variant, the Spanish flu variant, variances exist. It happens. It's more contagious. It's more, you know, it's more severe or whatever. It's just another evolutionary cycle of it, right? And we don't really want to get into politics, but hey, if you know, the political forces are forcing people to you know, do booster shots or you know, make it mandatory or whatever, then hey, it looks great for Moderna, right? We don't care about politics. We only care about what we can make money from politics. Okay, so let's look at the polls right now, okay? So 25% of you think that rich guys, you know, the rich guy who have very low girl skill will get the girl, okay? And 33% of you, which is 1/3 of you, thinks the average guy with average girl skills will get the girl, okay? And about 43% of you, almost half of you, that said the poor guy with high girl skill we'll get the girls. Okay, so can I get a representative from the rich guy low growth skill to give me a get a rundown? Start typing right now. Give me a rundown of why do you think it's gonna be the rich guy, the low growth skill right now? Like just start typing it out, right? If you're in that category, and also the average guy, guys, you guys also need a representative. Talk among yourself or whatever, right? Or if you pick that, just put your reasoning behind it, type it up, and send it out. And that the poor guy high growth skill, type it out, send it up, okay? We're gonna set up a 5-minute timer, and by the end of the 5-minute timer, I want to see the represented views in the chat. And right after I read all those aloud and then give you guys an overview of what really happened, then I will explain the research finding of what happens. And it's pretty amazing, by the way. And meanwhile, if we have other questions, you got about 5 minutes to ask them. I'll do a quick, Q&A, basic, because we plan to end it pretty early today. I don't really want to drag this long because you guys probably have hot dates to attend. Changing diapers, sorting out trash. I don't know, what are some other regular house duties? Cleaning up the pool, maybe prepare for tomorrow morning. Or I don't know, or you might have a side chick that you have to address, right? Come on, guys, type it up, guys. I want to see, why do you guys think you think it's the rich guy? Why do you guys think it's the average guy? Why do you guys think it's the poor guy, right? Wait, let me check the status of this thing real quick. 26 of you are here. Hey, what is up, guys? So yeah. Come on, give me an answer. You guys type fast. I mean, consider no one. Well, you guys are probably typing right now. So while you guys are doing this, I also want you guys to input on, what are some. We plan to do a YouTube sort of like a future portfolio, and also on Patreon we plan to do a Patreon fund. But yeah, that's just sort of like a way ahead of us right now. Anything coming for we sector? What do you mean anything coming for we sector? The 420 sector? I think it's going down, isn't it? I told number 2 that the entire 420 sector is probably gonna go down. Let's look at it. Hack stock. It's not, wait, what is it called? Hexo? Is it Hexo? I think it's this thing, no? Yeah, it's this thing. The reality of this is, if you invest in this early, it's great. But if you invest it late, then it's not great because they have some commercialization problems. And also, if you guys want to see a detailed due diligence video, comment down below, or I don't know what you're gonna do, or request it on Patreon or whatever. Because when we post anything related to sensitive content like weed, alcohol, whatever, I don't think you can monetize it. But yeah, it's pretty interesting outlook. Fuel cell stock. What is fuel cell stock? Give me the ticker or whatever. What do you mean fuel cell stock? There's too many fuel cell stocks. I think NIO will be interesting this week for sure. Yeah, NIO is gonna be very interesting. I also added Fisker, but Fisker has already started printing, so yeah. Oh yeah. For those of you who followed the AMC trade, this Friday, you already made about 3%, I think. Well, let's see. And thank you for trusting us. And for those of you who are on Patreon that got the early notice, hey, good for you guys, right? Let's see. So let's look at the calculator. We gotta be careful on Monday because the Monday the option flow comes in, and also we don't want all the apes to hate us. But hey, we're basically just gonna trade upon ape psychology and how we see the market is gonna go. Okay. So we entered around 8:30, so 11:30ish around here. So we entered 32.24. Okay, this is our entry price, 32.24. And for those of you who are wondering, like, how do we know to enter that? That's probably just by luck, right? Yeah, maybe. Who knows, right? And then let's just say we start off, you know, by the market end. It's 34.54. So that's 003, 2.3 bucks. So 2.3 divided by 32.24 equals to, whoa, guys, that's a 7% increase. I never foresee that. So that's about a 7.2%. You already made 7.2%. Congrats, boys. And yeah, I put some liquidity in there. So yeah, congrats for me too. And we need about, you know, a couple of those trades to offset some of our losses we lost in MMAT. So yeah, keep up the good work, boys and girls. Keep up the good work, okay? And yeah. All right, let's see what are some reasonings here. Okay, Charles, our residential dad, you know, balling, the baller dad, said it's the poor guy, girl skills. Why? He has skills to be obtained at a low cost to value ratio. She digs numbers and value. Whoa, that is a very interesting answer. Thank you, Charles. Is this how you get boss lady? And dude number 2 said, not rich, not average, and not good talking to chicks. I just have my good looks. Wow. This is irrelevant. Ignore that part. Ignore that comment. He's pretty narcissistic. He's a narcissist. Okay, just don't talk to him. Poor guy. Poor guy usually successful. Wealthy women are happy to have a lower earning man. She's secure and with wealth. He's less likely to cheat on her and be a stay-at-home dad. If he is alpha, if he's an alpha, it's A+. Ooh, interesting. But keep in mind though, like rich guy, low girl skill, probably, I think in terms of cheatability, I think rich guy's low girl skill is the least likely to cheat though. Like also depending on, like, do you consider, you know, occasionally having, you know, professional help in your bedroom matters a cheating situation? Like, depending on perspective, right? Do you think the poor guy with high girl skills can be easily managed? Like in the girl's perspective, right? It's such a sad thing that we don't have any girls right now in stream, right? We can ask them, what do they think, right? Am I wrong to have a positive outlook on Intel? I don't know. Everything is 50-50, boys. Well, Intel is just something that, you know, you park your money on. Like, sometimes I do that, but depending on, you know, when do you enter? And usually the increase in stock price doesn't really offset the risk. What do you think about NNDM at $5.5 and the 1.5 billion cash flow? I like it. I love this company. I'm in this for long in my secondary account, the Fidelity one. And yeah, I'm in this for long because I see the future. And also, you know, I love this Israeli company, and you know, and I love the Jews. That's just how it goes. Most women I know are emotional, poor, high skill, can capitalize. Ooh, there you go, Tim. There you go. Damn, look at all these wisdom we got from the chat. Sorry, I also got an answer from a friend who's like, I don't have my keyboard attached to my computer. He said it's the average guy because average guy always wins, but hey, that's not really a reason. I will be happy to go long on a wealthy woman who is a 9.5. What do you mean? It's not your choice. Woman has the most selectability in a mating situation. It's not your choice. You're getting picked. Right until she picked you, then you're gonna be successful, guys. FCEL? What's your thoughts about it for a long term? It used to be a penny stock, right? I mean, need to do more due diligence on that. But I think I played some day trades before on FCEL. Made some profit about like half a year ago, like early this year. Dr. Philly always asks, what's your favorite video game? I've already answered that question. The Untouchable. In what month do you think is the best to buy NIO? Due to this geopolitical is crazy between US and China. I think every month is good to buy NIO. Because if you are investing in NIO, then it's like investing Tesla early. You're just trying to see it turn profit. If it turns profit, then it's just gonna moon from there, and you just need to place sort of give yourself a price target to exit. Do not put all your money in there just because, right? I think NIO is a good buy around this area, maybe 3 points lower, ideally. Well, it really depends on like the fundamentals or whatever, and sort of you gotta form your own reason of entering. You can just listen to someone and be like, oh, it's a great stock, and you buy it. And then you can't. You have to form your own DD and sort of give yourself a price target. I mean, you can listen to our price target, but give yourself a price target to exit and to enter, right? Crispy Chicken is, but she's in Korea or SEA, I think. Oh, Crispy Chicken is? That's funny. Yeah, we probably need some female opinion on this. I don't think she's in Discord anymore. You guys scared her away. Wait, really? We scared Crispy Chicken away? Dang it. We're so sorry. Ling. Rich guy has least amount of work up front, but hard to close. The poor dude will have to do way more work and close. Average guy is average work plus average close and average win. And will win. Interesting. Average may not get high quality. Oh, there goes the statistician. Average guy should get better odds on a percentage basis. Ooh, very interesting. Statistically speaking, it might be true, but in reality, statistics are skewed. It's like when you flip a coin, it's actually not a 50-50 trade. All right, let me reveal the answer. So according to research, the most likely to get the girl is the poor guy with high girl skills. We have to go back to our core theorem. Because for the poor guy, or for the girls to accept the poor guy, because poor guy can create a very proper communication channel with the rich girl, right? With the girl. So when you're already on the same level of communication, it's easier for the girl to accept the poor guy. Because in terms of like the rich girl, for them, all right, they already have money. They, ideally speaking, they want someone who's also rich, who can match up, in their wealth or their value system. But in reality, because they're rich, because of the social stigma, because of how the entire reality of the social strata or the static social form, they realize that it's actually easier to talk to someone that they think is interesting. Okay, Didi spent a lot of my time talking to rich older ladies, right? The divorced ladies, the ladies who are rich or whatever. They're more likely to look for someone who's more interesting. And also, if you just talk to hot chicks and they're not even rich or whatever, they're more likely to go for the ones who is least likely for them to spend most time to accept them. So the entire core of the core theorem is, if the customer conversion cost is low. What is customer conversion rate, right? And why is this related to metamaterial? In order for metamaterial to be a market leader in the semiconductor space, they have to transition customer from stage A to stage B, right? And during that stage, there's a cost associated with conversion. And they, at least George, haven't figured out what the actual conversion cost is. So in order for them to convince switching from the regular semiconductor to B, which is their metamaterial, they need to pay that price for these A guys to convert into their product. And as far as I know, they haven't figured that part out. So basically, right now, George is like the rich guy with very low girl skills. Or even, not even rich guy, he's probably the average guy with very low girl skills right now in terms of where the company is heading. But yeah, I do agree statistically with Ling's conclusion, where the average guy will have average work and average closing, sort of like opportunity to close the girl. But again, they do have, everything follows a bell curve, right? There's also research came out that I read a couple of years ago, is who do you think get hit down the most? The very hot girls or the average girls? Turned out that, the average girl get hit on the most. And if you're like the hottest smoke show at 10, there's only this amount of people. Like literally, right? If one standard deviation captures 68%, I think it's, yeah, 68, and second standard deviation is 95.5, and 3 standard deviation is 97%. No, it's 99.7. So the smoke shows, the 10 smoke shows only get hit on 0.3% of the time. You see? Statistics speaks, and we should trade upon statistics and data instead of just emotionality. Alright guys, today's lesson is this, and hopefully you guys love the stream, and if you guys want more of those streams, comment down below, comment in any of our videos, like we love your stream, gotta stream more, and yeah, spread the good news, get more believers to come into our channel, go to Discord, you know, fill out that reasoning section on Discord. I hope you see all of your answers there, so we can form a rational understanding of what other people are thinking, and maybe, you know, if there's something I'm missing, or maybe, you know, there's something I can learn from other people. Damn, what's your favorite video games? Again. Alright, see you guys on the upside. I think, what is your favorite video game? Answer? I told you. Probably like League right now. But I don't really have a favorite per se. Oh, I do have a favorite. What is that game that have a snake eye in it? That snake eye video. No, the snake eye guy. The phantom something. It's phantom something. That thing. Where you can drag enemy to your car. Like no, what is it called? Like this thing. No, PC, dude. PC for life, dude. It's called Snake Eye Game. Yeah, it's like the Snake Eye guy video game. No, not this Snake Eye. What is this called? Phantom. What is it? I'll tell you guys. Like there's a game where you're a guy like with an eye patch, and he's sort of like, yeah, he does these things and he shoot people or whatever. Like that game. Yeah, Metal Gear. Yeah, Metal Gear. There you go. It's called Metal Gear. Yeah, I love it. That's my favorite. I think that's my favorite. And yeah. All right, this stream is I think we're gonna end the stream right now, and go comment down below, or please go do that Discord interactive thing. You should post in community channel to explain for Discord people that didn't stream. Careful not to. hey, be careful there, okay? Alright, I'll see you guys on the upside, and then hopefully, you know, we see some greens next week.